Usiku wa kuamkia leo ulifanyika mdahalo baina ya wagombea wa kiti cha urais nchini Marekani, ambaye ni Kamala Harris akipeperusha bendera ya chama cha demokrasia pamoja na Donald Trump ambaye anatoka chama cha Republican. Ikilinganishwa na mdahalo uliopita baina ya rais wa Marekani Joe Biden na Donald Trump, safu hii ilikuwa na ushindani mkubwa, huku wanademokrasia wengi wakimuunga mkono Kamala Harris kwa kazi nzuri aliyoifanya kutokana na uwezo wake wa kujibu maswali kwa umakini pamoja na kuonekana akimfanya Trump atumie nguvu nyingi kujitetea na kujieleza. Mjadala uliolengwa katika mdahalo huo ulichukua takribani saa 1 na dakika 45, ni pamoja na masuala ya utoaji mimba pamoja na vikwazo na matatizo mengi ya kisheria yanayomzunguka mgombea wa kiti cha Republicans Donald Trump, pamoja na masuala ya uhamiaji na kupanda kwa gharama za kuishi nchini Marekani. Mwendesha mashtaka wa zamani Harris mwenye umri wa miaka 59 alionekana kumpandisha hasira Trump mwenye umri wa miaka 78, huku kwa mujibu wa wachambuzi wa masuala ya siasa nchini Marekani, Trump alitoa mfululizo wa upotoshaji uliojaa uongo. Wakati fulani alimchochea Donald Trump kwa kusema watu hukimbia na kuondoka katika mikutano yake ya kampeni mapema kutokana na kuboreka kwao. Harris alitamba kwa kusema mikutano yake ya hadhara ndiyo mikutano yenye wafuasi wengi zaidi katika historia ya mikutano hiyo nchini Marekani. Wagombea hao wawili wameonekana wakishutumiana kwa kila mmoja wao kusema uongo katika masuala kadhaa ya msingi. Kwa mfano, katika suala la uchumi, makamu wa rais Kamala Harris amejibu kwa kumshambulia Trump, akielekeza lawama kwa utawala wake. Donald Trump alituacha na mapungufu mengi na changamoto kubwa zaidi ya ajira tangu kutokea kwa mdororo mkubwa wa kiuchumi nchini Marekani, alisema Harris. Tulichofanya ni kusafisha madhaifu ya Donald Trump, Harris aliongeza. Trump alijibu akisema maprofesa wa uchumi walifunguka na kusema mpango wake wa kujenga uchumi wa Marekani ni wa kipekee na mzuri zaidi, huku akiongeza kwa kusema amefukuzwa kazi na watu zaidi ya milioni 81 baada ya tukio zima la Januari 6 baada ya uvamizi wa Capitol Hill. Hili ndio lilikuwa kama mic drop kutoka kwa mgombea wa kiti cha urais kupitia tiketi ya demokrasia, kwani Trump hakuweza kujibu zaidi. Katika suala la uhamiaji, Trump ametoa madai yasiyo ya msingi kwamba wahamiaji wanakula nyama katika eneo la Springfield, Ohio, wanakula mbwa, wanakula wanyama wa nyumbani wa watu wanaoishi huko, Trump alisema. Hata hivyo, mwongozaji wa mdahalo huo David Moore alibainisha kuwa meneja wa jiji huko Springfield amesema hakuna ushahidi wa madai hayo. Kuhusu sera ya mambo ya nje, Harris aliuliza maswali magumu kuhusu vita vya Gaza, kisha akaeleza kuwa anaunga mkono haki ya Israel ya kujilinda, huku akitoa wito wa usalama, uamuzi wa kibinafsi na utu wa Palestina. Alipoulizwa kuhusu msimamo wake kuhusu vita hivyo, Trump alisema angekuwa rais, basi kusingelikuwa na vita vya Gaza na Ukraine. Kama ningekuwa rais, vita zisingeanza, Trump alisema. Kama ningekuwa rais, Urusi isingethubutu kuvamia Ukraine. Namfahamu sana Putin, asingeweza kamwe, na hakukuwa na tishio lolote pia ndani ya miaka 4. Na hata hivyo, alipoulizwa moja kwa moja kama alitaka Ukraine ishinde vita vyake dhidi ya Urusi, Trump hakutoa majibu yaliyonyoka. Nataka vita ziishe, Trump alisema. Nadhani ni maslahi bora ya Marekani kumaliza vita. Jadili makubaliano kwa sababu inabidi tuzuie maisha haya yote ya wanadamu yasiharibiwe. Mimi ni Regina Baltazari. Hizi ni ripoti za kimataifa.
The aspirations and the hopes of the American people, but I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook, a bunch of lies, grievances, and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us, and I pledge to you to be a president for all Americans.
President Trump will give you a minute here to respond. Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do. Cut taxes very substantially and create a great economy like I did before. We had the greatest economy. We got hit with a pandemic. And the pandemic was not since 1917, where 100 million people died, has there been anything like it. We did a phenomenal job with the pandemic. We handed them over a country where the economy and where the stock market was higher than it was before the pandemic came in. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. We made ventilators for the entire world. We got gowns, we got masks, we did things that nobody thought possible. And people give me credit for rebuilding the military. They give me credit for a lot of things, but not enough credit for the great subject. What they have done to our country by allowing these millions and millions of people to come into our country, and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. As far as rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country, and if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
I just want to clarify here. You bring up Springfield, Ohio, and ABC News did reach out to the city manager there. He told us there have been no credible reports of specific claims of pets being harmed, injured, or abused by individuals within the immigrant community.
Well, I've seen people on television.
Let me just say here, this is
the people on television say my dog was taken and used for food. So maybe he said that, and maybe that's a good thing to say for a city manager.
I'm not taking this from
television. But the people on television saying their dog was eaten by the people that went there.
Again, the Springfield city manager says there's no evidence of that. Vice President Harris, I'll let you respond to the rest of what you've heard.
You talk about extreme. You know,
the whole place is going to get blown up. Arabs, Jewish people, Israel will be gone. It would have never happened. Iran was broke under Donald Trump. Now Iran has $300 billion because they took off all the sanctions that I had. Iran had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah or any of the 28 different spheres of terror. And they are spheres of terror, horrible terror. They had no money. It was a big story, and you know it. You covered it very well, actually. They had no money for terror. They were broke. Now they're a rich nation. And now what they're doing is they're spreading that money around. Look at what's happening with the Houthis and Yemen. Look at what's going on in the Middle East. This would have never happened. I will get that settled and fast, and I'll get the war with Ukraine and Russia ended. If I'm president-elect, I'll get it done before even becoming president.
Vice President Harris, he says you hate Israel.
That's absolutely not true. I have my entire career and life supported Israel and the Israeli people. He knows that. He's trying to, again, divide and distract from the reality, which is it is very well known that Donald Trump is weak and wrong on national security and foreign policy. It is well known that he admires dictators, wants to be a dictator on day one, according to himself. It is well known that he said of Putin that he can do whatever the hell he wants and go into Ukraine. It is well known that he said when Russia went into Ukraine, it was brilliant. It is well known he exchanged love letters with Kim Jong-un. And it is absolutely well known that these dictators and autocrats are rooting for you to be president again because they're so clear. They can manipulate you with flattery and favors. And that is why so many military leaders who you have worked with have told me you are a disgrace. That is why We understand that we have to have a president who is not consistently weak and wrong on
Vice
national
President
security,
Harris.
including the importance of upholding and respecting in highest regard our military.
Vice President Harris, thank you.
They're the ones, and she's the one that caused it, that's weak on national security by allowing every nation last month for the year, 168 different countries sending people into our country. Their crime rates are way down. Putin endorsed her last week, said, I hope she wins. And I think he meant it, because what he's gotten away with is absolutely incredible. It wouldn't have happened with me. The leaders of other countries think that they're weak and incompetent, and they are. They're grossly incompetent. And I just ask one question. Why does Biden go in and kill the Keystone Pipeline and approve the single biggest deal that Russia's ever made, Nord Stream 2, the biggest pipeline anywhere in the world going to Germany and all over Europe? Because they're weak and they're ineffective. And Biden, by the way,
President
gets paid
Trump,
a lot of money.
Thank you. We have a lot of issues to get to.
Guaranteed their democracy, that it's in America's best interest to do so, arguing that if Putin wins, he may be emboldened to move even further into other countries. You have said you would solve this war in 24 hours. You said so just before the break tonight. How exactly would you do that? And I want to ask you a very simple question tonight. Do you want Ukraine to win this war?
I want the war to stop. I want to save lives that are being uselessly, people being killed by the millions. It's the millions. It's so much worse than the numbers that you're getting, which are fake numbers. Look, we're in for 250 billion or more because they don't ask Europe, which is a much bigger beneficiary to getting this thing done than we are. They're in for $150 billion less because Biden and you don't have the courage to ask Europe like I did with NATO. They paid billions and billions, hundreds of billions of dollars when I said, either you pay up or we're not going to protect you anymore. So that's maybe one of the reasons they don't like me as much as they like weak people. But you take a look at what's happening. We're in for 250 to 275 billion. They're into 100 to 150. They should be forced to equalize. With that being said, I want to get the war settled. I know Zelensky very well, and I know Putin very well. I have a good relationship, and they respect your president, okay? They respect me. They don't respect Biden. How would you respect him? Why? For what reason? He hasn't even made a phone call in 2 years to Putin, hasn't spoken to anybody. They don't even try and get it. That is a war that's dying to be settled. I will get it settled before I even become president. If I win, when I'm president-elect, and what I'll do is I'll speak to one, I'll speak to the other, I'll get them together. That war would have never happened. And in fact, when I saw Putin after I left, unfortunately left because our country has gone to hell. But after I left, when I saw him building up soldiers, he did it after I left, I said, oh, he must be negotiating. It must be a good, strong point of negotiation. Well, it wasn't, because Biden had no idea how to talk to him. He had no idea how to stop it. And now you have millions of people dead, and it's only getting worse, and it could lead to World War III. Don't kid yourself, David. We're playing with World War III, and we have a president that we don't even know if he's... Where is our president? We don't even know if he's a president.
And just to clarify
they
here...
They threw him out of a campaign like a dog. We don't even know. Is he our president? But we have a president,
Mr. President,
that doesn't know he's alive.
Your time is up. Just to clarify in the question, do you believe it's in the U.S. best interest for Ukraine to win this war, yes or no?
I think it's the U.S. best interest to get this war finished and just get it done.
All right.
Negotiate a deal, because we have to stop all of these human lives from being destroyed.
I want to take this to Vice President Harris. I want to get your